Hello everyone, good evening, happy Thursday. I hope everyone's well. I am Danette Herrera, I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and this is Savvy Stamps. Tonight I thought we'd play with some designer series paper. There's so many beautiful, hello Wendy, there's so many beautiful designer series paper. Stampin' Up! Does an outstanding job. So I wanted to focus on the designer series paper and to show you a little bit how you can create maybe other projects, alternatives to what the stamp set or the dies are meant for. Oh, good. So anyway, that's what I did tonight. I played with the paper a little bit. I also tried to do a kind of a general neutral kind of flip on the card just to show a little bit of the versatility of each stamp set. So let me flip you around and we'll get started. Let me not get my fingers in the way. There we go. And let me just check that, let me just grab my iPad and check that everything is working the way it's supposed to, and I could see your comments. So, did everyone have a good week so far? A hot bath sounds wonderful. We actually cooled off today. We went from mid-70s to 60 degrees, which sounds warm to some, but that's chilly for us in Florida. Oh, there I am. Now, I hope I'm not frozen here. Oops, sorry. Thought I had it muted. Okay, so let's get started. So first thing, let me bring it up in a little bit. There you go. Is the lighting okay? Is that bright enough? I could adjust the lights a little bit. Okay, so I did want to talk about paper pumpkin a little bit. Paper pumpkin, I keep cutting out. Okay, can you see me okay now? Is it working okay now? So Paper Pumpkin is a monthly subscription for those of you that don't know, and it comes in the mail and they're complete kits, and this month's is a bouquet of hope. These beautiful floral designs like thinking of you, I love that big sentiment. And the specifics, I must have gotten this wet. The kit contains supplies to create 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs. So they're standard size cards, 5.5 by 4 1/4. Hello, Cindy. And it also coordinates with the celebration item. So it coordinates with the Flowers and Fields paper, which is this paper here. And it's very busy on one side if you like all the busy florals, but on the other side it does have these pretty patterns. So this, you have till February 10th to subscribe, and this Paper Pumpkin happens to coordinate with those. So that's business out of the way. The other thing I want to talk about is hosting. If you host a party, which obviously right now a lot of them will be virtual, if not all of them. If you host a party, I don't often talk about this, but for every $150, you get $10 in Stampin' Rewards. And you also get these cool exclusive stamp sets. So if you have an order, or if you have a couple friends in the office or a couple friends that you want to get together, you can also do it that way and put it together. The other thing I want to talk about is joining. Right now, you join Stampin' Up!, you get $125 worth of product for $99, and you get 5 of the new and upcoming designer series paper that's not even available yet. It's going to be in the new catalog. Okay, enough of business. Now, let's get to fun crafting. So the paper is on page 33. It is the Fine Art Designer Series paper, and it's super pretty. So what I wanted to show you tonight, hopefully we can accomplish it and won't go over, because I'm kind of trying to be more mindful of your time. I smushed that one, is I wanted to create this fun, I'll show you how to do this fun accordion fold, super easy. But I wanted to show you too, like this, it's a flowery set, let's face it. I like the flowery set, but I have a lot of males in my life. So I wanted to try and show you guys. Am I still cutting out, Wendy? Or am I okay now? I just wanted to show you guys how you can make it, obviously a feminine card, but you can kind of make it a general neutral card. I took the image that was meant to be the inlay image, the second step for the stamp set, and just created a sort of background to make it more of a general neutral. Somebody that didn't like flowers, or I think this could be appropriate for a male. So that's my two takes on those. And then I'm going to show you basically how to do the same thing on another design. So to create the accordion fold, let me get my measurements. I was too neat, put them away. Okay. So to create the accordion fold, and I have all the dimensions, they're going to be up on my blog tomorrow morning. They should post up. So we're going to start with, first of all, your cardstock. Now I've already cut these, but I wanted to show you how to do it. So this is not one we're going to use when I'll show you that paper. So it's this on one side, and then it's this other pattern on the other side. So one's like brush strokes and the other one's floral. So the card base is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. Well, that one's not scored, so let's score that. Scored at 5 1/2. So that would be our card base. And then you'd fold it there. And this one's in petal pink, but I'm going to show you on this. The designer series paper is now 5 inches by 10 3/4. But now what you're going to do is, let's see if you're close enough. Let's get down a little bit more. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, I want to do it with my pencil. Is we're going to create a little mark here. So over here, I like using this side when it's a 1 inch. So we're going to go to 3/4 of an inch, and you're going to mark it right here in your track on top. Then at the bottom, can you see the bottom all right? Let me bring it out even more. I want you to see the bottom. So then at the very bottom, we're going to go, hold up 1 second because it's delayed. I just want to make sure you guys can see the bottom. There you go. So then at the very bottom, again, you're going to measure to 3/4 of an inch. Make sure it's straight, and we're going to mark here. You can erase your marks after. So now you're going to take this mark and put it in the track. Let me make sure now I'm in screen again. Give me 1 second. So we're going to make sure the top mark is in the little track, and then the bottom notch is here. So hold on to one and make sure they're both in there. I have the cutting blade on the bottom, and then when you flip it over, you should see that's still in the track there, and if it's not, just adjust it slightly. Can you guys see that okay? I'm gonna wait a second. That's my scoring tool. Get that out of the way. There you go. So my notch is at the top, and then I see my notch at the bottom, and then you're just going to cut it along there. So you get 2 pieces to create 2 cards. So that's how you create that. So the pieces I chose, the first one is petal pink cardstock. Now I took a layer and I slimmed off, like barely, like maybe 1/16 of an inch, but you technically don't need this layer. I just put it on. I like a little thicker card, number 1, and number 2, if I stamp or do anything wrong, I have some grace to grab another piece. So that's that. So now we're going to do some scoring. Let me put my cutting on the bottom. There you go. Why do I feel crooked? I'm sorry, guys. I'm fiddling a little bit with this camera. There you go. Let me straighten now. Okay, so let's get some scoring. So, take your flat side and you're going to, let me get things out of the way. And you're going to, the first score is going to be at 3/4 of an inch. I put my cutting blade at the bottom just so I don't make any mistakes. Now we're going to go to 1.5, 3, 3 3/4, 5 1/4. Oh, I forgot to open this up. 5 1/4, 6, 7 1/2, and 8 1/4. 8 1/4. Okay. So that's one piece of designer series paper, and because it's designer series paper, it's kind of thinner. So you're going to do mountains and valleys, but I just fold it with my hands just because if I fold it too much, sometimes the designer series paper tends to tear. So then once I initially fold, you're going to have a valley. So this will fold over this way. So a little going down the valley, a mountain. Do you see how easy it goes? Then another valley, and then another valley and a mountain. And then this one's going to go down. So then you have this. But while we're here, I'm going to do the second one. So we're going to score again. So you can get the scoring added, and then I'll show you how to put it together. So again, one more time, we're going to go to 3/4 of an inch, 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 3 3/4 of an inch, 5 1/4, 6, almost past it, 6 inches, 7 1/2, and 8 1/4. Nope, 8 1/2, 8 1/4, 8 1/4. Okay. So now we could set that aside. So that one's going to fold that way. And then the next one will fold this way. Okay, let's see. There we go. One down. So each one's going to be in the opposite direction. What did I do wrong? Let's see. I think I skipped a score. Hold on. Let me check them out. I skipped something. So let's see. 1.5. 1.5. 3. That's there. 3 1/2. Right? No, 3 3/4. That's there. 5 1/4. 5 1/4 is there. 6 is there. 7 1/2 is the one I missed. 7 1/2 and 8 1/4. Sorry about that. Missed one. Okay, so there's your, there you go. There's the valley. There you go. Oops. There we go. I think it's easier if you fold them all initially, and they kind of just accordion up for you. That's a valley. That's okay. So now we have our two pieces that look like that. So I found the easiest way to get it to stay down. Here, we'll start with this one. That was our first card. Is to just put some tear and tape on the back. So get it all folded the way you wanted it, pleated it up. Like you're doing. I don't know if anybody sews. I'm not a sewer. My mother was a sewer, and my daughter sews. So you just Run a little tear and tape. Don't worry about that one popping up, but when you turn it over, we'll glue the other side down. There you go. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing with this one. And then we'll do the panels. Let me make sure that's right. There we go. Can you guys still see me okay? I appear to be live and everything working well. But at the beginning, Wendy said that wasn't working correctly, so I want to make sure. Now, I haven't tried a whole card, but I'm sure you could do a whole card base if you wanted that way. Okay, so that side. So in the petal pink one, like I said, you can stamp directly on the card. I just chose to do a second panel. So now I'm going to use, I thought I had all my inks out, but I forgot, Poppy Parade. I'm going to stamp the really pretty flower in the corner. Why do you always think you have tons of room until you start working and moving, and then all of a sudden your area shrinks on you? It shrinks on me. I'm not sure why, but it does. Okay. I'm going to get that great big flower one. And I'm only going to stamp it once. Just because I'm putting a sentiment over it, so I'm not going to really layer it up. So right in the one left-hand corner, because your pleats are going this way. So just wanted it in the left-hand corner there. Okay, thank you, Wendy. Okay, let me put this away because I put my hands in ink constantly. Now the sentiment. I originally did it in black, but I'm tempted to do it in the Poppy Parade. I did You Are Lovely. This stamp set really has some really pretty sentiments. Okay. Let's try it with the Poppy Parade. If I don't like the way it looks on top, we can switch back to the black. Now I'm going to do it kind of off to the right hand side. This is a pre-cut. This is one of the die sentiments that come with the set, and I pre-cut a bunch, but I'm gonna stamp it towards the right side of it because we're gonna cut it off. I'm not gonna use the whole thing. Oh, I didn't use my foam mat. I put my foam mat right next to me so I wouldn't forget to use it. I'm bad about using the foam mat, but it really does stamp nicer with the poly, the clear stamps. Okay, let's see. I don't know. Let's try it again in Memento, and you guys can tell me. I put the stamp away so efficiently. Okay. My foam mat looks terrible. It's been well loved. Okay, so what do you guys think? The black like we had it, or I think maybe the black, huh? Let's see. Let me get you down a little bit. I guess we'll stick with the black. Thinking the black kind of pops a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to leave that aside. So now we're going to glue this down. So just going to take some of my glue. And I'm just going where the tear and tape is not, to hold it down a little bit better. Now I'm going to take your pick tool and take my tear and tape off. There we go. There we go. Now you have glue on it, but mind you have tear and tape. So you really, let me put this underneath. So you really wanna, I take the point and put it there and make sure I'm all the way to the top, because you want this butted right up to the edge there. And I don't really push it down, I just kind of keep it there. There you go. Until I know. Now see, this side's kind of still floppy, so all we're going to do is add a little bit of glue to the bottom of these and I'll hold it down. Now if you want dimension, you could leave it up, just maybe do this one or this flap, but I glued them all down. Hold it a second. And then what I did for this layer is I used this Whisperite crinkled ribbon and I just added a bow. Let's say about here. Create a little bow. Come on. There we go. Couldn't grab the end for some reason. I think I want it kind of big and floppy. Maybe change the direction a little bit. There we go. Maybe not so big, huh? Okay, get my ribbon scissors. Do you guys have scissors you only use for ribbon? I do, and I put a little ribbon on them so I know it's for ribbon. Okay, so now let's get this on the card base. Let's just make a nice crisp end there. I'm gonna glue this flat and then we'll add, oh, you know what? Almost forgot the sentiment. So I'm only going to put glue on this half of the sentiment. I'm going to put it kind of right up to the U. Now, a good way, if you want to, is line it up with your grid paper. And then you know for sure have glue on it, so I have a little grace. Oh, the glue made the Poppy Parade move. And then you know, smudged it, and that's going to make me crazy. Let's see if I could get it off. And then you just flip it over, cut that end off, and you have a perfect, don't cut into the edge of the card like I do. There you go. Here we go. Look at that, the glue made that. It's gonna make me nuts now. We'll see if we can fix it. Okay, we're just gonna put some glue on the back of this. So it's relatively fast and quick to create a couple cards at a time. And there's not much edging on this. Now for the inside, you can do whatever, stamp a flower, add a flower. I have a bunch already pre-cut from the designer series paper. So I'm just going to take one out and add a little glue and add it to the inside of the card here. Just to give a little something on the inside. And you could leave it blank to write whatever you like in there. So one down. Let's see if I have. Now these are mono sand erasers. You can get them on Amazon. Wait for that to dry a little bit, and let's see if we could take it. It's smudged from the ink when I, there we go. Oh, maybe not. That ink, I guess it's still wet. Okay, I'm afraid to touch it. Okay, so that'll take it away. Now the other thing I did for this one, I'll do quickly, is these are the gilded gems. So I added a couple of the gilded gems. Anywhere you like, really. Let's see. Maybe over here. There you go. That one's done. Now the second one's pretty fast because we already have this part done. So now let's just stamp on here. Now I took this stamp because I didn't want it to be so feminine. So I took this little one and I used the gray granite ink and I stamped off once and just kind of randomly stamped around to make a pattern. That doesn't necessarily, whoops, hold on. I'm trying to go too fast now. There you go. I don't think this is on here right. There you go. I'm stamping off once. Oh, do not stamp off once. And then I'm just going to check, gently lay my paper. That's, well, now I'm going to have to add one or two full strength just to make that not look so, oh, I'm stamping off. No. See, even when you screw up, there's a way to fix it. Okay, so just randomly, just to give it some interest in the background, some texture, but not so feminine. Now, while I have the gray granite out, we're going to do the same thing, but we're using the happy birthday sentiment this time. And again, I'm going to kind of go to the right side. Happy birthday. Sorry, am I out of screen again? Hey Kim, how are you, hon? Okay, so let's put this one together. Add some glue to the back of this, like we did the other one. We're going to peel off our tear and tape. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. So last week, I finally figured out how to start, with help, a YouTube channel. So I have one video that's actually last week's Facebook Live loaded, but I do intend, which I'm hoping this weekend because I have a new package coming. I was hoping to come today, but it's coming tomorrow. So I will do some YouTube Lives different than Facebook Lives. Again, when you go to line it up, because you have that tear and tape on there, even though you have the glue. So just take your time and don't really push down. I line up the corner first and then go along that edge and then get all the way to the top. There you go. So you know you're straight there. Okay, some glue under here. A little glue here. I'll hold that all down a second. So I would appreciate if you guys hop over to Danette Herrera. Is under, I need 100, more than 100 subscribers or more to name it your own you know, like Savvy Stamps too. So if you go to YouTube, I would appreciate it if you can click subscribe, and then if you hit the little bell icon, then you will know when I am going live. So I'm hoping to do some live and tape. So again, what I did was use that grid paper. If you want to make sure it's straight, kind of got it on there, made sure that H was over far enough. Then you just line it up with the edge of your paper, cut that tip off. And now I use the gray granite shimmery ribbon, and I did not do it all the way around on this one. I found a bunch of fast fuse, so I'm using it up. So waste not, want not. So I'm gonna do this because I don't want to add a bow because I want it to stay general neutral. And then I'm gonna cut a strip here. And then, let's see. And then I just bring it through here and make a knot. This ribbon is pretty, but it is a little stiff. I think it's a little harder to make bows, but I didn't want a bow here anyway, but there we go. Okay, now here's our card base. This is also gray granite. Add a little glue on here. Thank you, Kim. I'm glad you liked it. Okay, make sure you're going in the right direction. I'm going to put this on here. There you go. Now for this, the inside, I don't want to put a flower, so you could take, I thought I had a scrap already here, but maybe I don't. Let me reach over. Honestly, the bigger your work surface is, the more places there is to lose things. Thought I had a piece already cut, but I don't, so that's okay. We can just cut this one. So. Oh, would help if I use the blade. There we go. There we go. So now for this one, well, it's small, but I used the clear epoxies just to give it a little extra something. I thought they were, except these are huge. I used the smaller ones on that one. I don't know if I want to use these. They're so big. Well, what do you think? I think they're too big. I think we'll skip them. What do you think? Put them on or skip them? See, on this card, the original card, excuse me, I had some of the small ones left. But I've used all my small ones, and these are the bigger ones. Well, there's the smaller version, which I kind of like. There's the larger version. Okay, those two are done. So now, the next one, oh, now I find the designer series paper. I thought I had one cut. So the next one, we're going to use the dies and really not use the stamp set. So these dies have dies and it says just want to, thinking of you, just want to say I miss you. So again, the designer series paper says it all. Two simple cuts of here, and then for this background is our painted textures. So I already and this was cut with square the layering squares, but you can easily just cut a square, but it is embossed. I embossed a piece first with the painted textures 3D embossing folder that comes in the suite, and then I just layered it up. Again, 2 quick cards. So let's run this through the die cutting machine. I'm going to do it twice, and then I'm going to show you how you can use, again, the reverse end, so you can kind of get more bang for your buck. Let me run it through twice and I'll show you. Okay. So as you take this off, my plate is well loved here, you get a negative that you can also use. But when you want to use the negative, be sure to save these pieces. So when you go to take this off, like mine's sticking, so, but see all these pieces? When you go to use the negative, you want those pieces. So I'm going to take all this off and let it fall on my grid paper, but I'll save those. Ooh, almost smashed that. And don't forget your little dot for the just. That's your little dot, you need that. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. Sorry, can you hear? There are helicopters running around my neighborhood today, or tonight. Okay, so I used, let me show you what I mean here. And now I used Pool Party, and I cut through the Pool Party. So, it cuts, I used 2 of them. Just want to say, but see this inside piece here? Let me know. To the A. You want to save that way. Let me get a dark piece of cardstock. Here. Can you all see this? Okay. So if you want to use the say, you can. You see how you use that? But you need to save that piece when you punch it out. So when you cut it out, die cut it out, just save those pieces and then place them in here, like the O. You're going to use that O in here. Here's the bottom. And then here's the top piece. Whoop, I moved that. So when you're die cutting them, we're not going to use it tonight, but when you are, you could, I did use these on other cards, you can use this piece. Just make sure you save the inside pieces. That's just what I wanted to show you. Which I'll put mine aside, but for right now we don't need that. I just need this. Okay, so I cut 2 of them, and it cuts it all at one time, all the words for you. This die does all the words at one time. So you could use all the words or just one of the words. So now I layered it up. So I used the floral piece, and then I cut this, oh, I'm on the metric side of the grid paper. This is a 2 3/4 inch square, and this one is 2 1/2 inch square. So I embossed the Whisper White. I'm going to layer it onto here, but first I'm going to glue the saying on here. And you could use the adhesive strips to do that. It is big, but it makes a statement. It's the whole card pretty much. Okay, so let me show you. I'm just going to, you could use the adhesive sheets, this is what I was saying, to glue this on, but I didn't want to fiddle with it right this second, so I'm just using a sponge that I use for glue. I follow Michaela, the Crafty Oink pen, and when she showed me this, I thought, oh, I have trouble sometimes with my hands from the lupus and arthritis, so when I saw her do this, I thought this is great for me because I have a hard time separating the adhesive sheet. Let me get my other glue mat here. So you want to put the just that you can add your dot. It's okay if it hangs off, but you want to put it where it can add the dot to it. So where's my dot? Here it is. Teeny tiny dot. Tiny dot. Let me grab my tweezers. That would be better than trying to get my fat fingers in there. Just, here's your wand. I'm going to do this twice. And you really don't need a whole lot of glue. And then the glue just wipes off your silicone mat anyway. Okay, let's see if it come up well. There you go. Now I put the square on an angle. I should have said that too. I didn't put it straight. There we go. 2. My mat's getting sticky. There you go. 2. And then say. So we have a little overage, but I like the overage. So then I'm going to use some dimensionals. That's stuck to my grid paper. Where are my dimensionals? Way over here. I think I need another pack of dimensionals. Sorry, reaching over you. My pack is pretty used up. And yes, I don't have a rhyme or reason. I just pull right from the middle of the dimensional pack. Take your pick tool, center and flick. Collect all my backs. Sure I do. They're always everywhere. Every time. Let's see, just want to make sure it's... There we go. Okay. Now I'm just gonna, with some Pool Party stamp, I'm thinking of you. Just want to say, I'm thinking of you. But it could be happy birthday, it could be anything. I think it's time for a new Pool Party ink pad. I was having trouble and I used quite a bit of re-inker, but I don't know if it's... Yeah, I did do this one. So this one I'm going to kind of go towards the left of this. Why is this not? Oh, there. Oh, got it. Okay. Okay, so this we're just going to glue flat onto the designer series paper. And it doesn't really matter what side. I think I like this side because I could see more of the flowers that way. Oh, I guess it did matter what side because now I did this in the center. That's okay. I was going to cut it off the edge again, but that's okay. You know what we could do? We could just do this and slide it under there. And then this one, I thought what worked well with this one is the, oh, let me put it on the card base first, is the Whale of a Time stamp set. So this I'm going to layer onto the Pool Party. So let me get that. I'm going to glue down our designer series paper layer onto a Pool Party layer. Now, if you don't want all these layers, you don't have to. You absolutely could just put it down onto your card base. I just like pulling in the Pool Party. And then I have a 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4 card base. Run my bone folder down it. There we go. So now we're just going to glue this layer onto here. So I kind of wanted to show you that you can make duplicate cards, make this set a little more versatile than just for females, even though it's kind of meant more, you know, female-ish. And then I used these Whale of a Time because they have the blues and the pool parties. So I thought the blues matched well with here. So I'm going to use a couple glue dots. And let's see. Might take your pick tool, use your putty end, and grab a couple of the sequins. See if I can get that one separated. They're like alive sometimes. Come on, stick. Maybe not. Yes. My putty's like, first I couldn't get it out, now it's like coming out like mad. All right, we need one more blue one. Here's one. Pull the putty out. Okay, there we go with that one. And again, you can, for the inside, just put a strip of the designer series paper inside, or you can stick another flower, because I have so many pre-cut. I'll just stick another flower inside with that one. That's the advantage when you sit with the beautiful designer series paper and cut a bunch out. I keep them in a little Ziploc, and then when I need them, bing, and look how pretty that is inside. Okay, that one's done. In the home stretch. Oh, you like that one. Thank you for the hearts, guys. Okay, now the other one again, because I wanted to make it a little more masculine, we're going to do the same thing. Let's put these away because I'm going to get them all over. I know I have them. I already dumped them once today. I was in a hurry and I dumped them all over. Okay, so now then we're going to basically do the same thing again with this, but a little different take. We're just going to change the direction. Again, you want to save those pieces if you want to use the negative of it. Which I think looks cool, the negative. But you have to have patience to glue all those pieces. And truth be known, I have a lot of patience, but it really depends on the day anymore. The older I get, some days I have tons of patience, some days I have patience for nothing. Being truthful, being real. Okay. Now this is the embossed piece, and again, what I say they were 2 1/4 square. I'm going to put it on an angle again, so that's both the same. And where's my little dot? There's my little dot way over here. Let's get, oh, my fingers are getting tacky. Come on. There we go. So, there we go. Just want there you go. I should have cleaned this. I've been using my mat all day, so it's gotten a little gunked up. I have to wash it off. Want to say oops, last one. Yeah, I was hoping my new package, all the new stuff I paid for express, but it was delayed one day, of course. So, hoping it'll come, and then hopefully I could do that Facebook Live on YouTube over Facebook Live. No, the live video on YouTube over the weekend is my goal. We'll see how it goes. Okay, that's all done. Let's get this sticky one out of the way. Okay, and again, I'm going to use dimensionals. My hands got sticky now. And the home stretch, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. Hello, Miss Andre. How are you? Like I said, all the dimensions, except for the squares. I don't know if I put that on there, but they're the layering squares is what I use. But this is 2 1/4 square, and this is 2 and what did I say it was? Now I have to remeasure it. 2 3/4 square and 2 1/4 square. Okay. All right, so now I cut the reverse side of that we just used is this. So I'm going to layer that onto Pool Party. It's got a pool party kind of card is what this one is. I have to pick it up. I don't want to lean into the camera, so I can't see if it's straight that way. I have to check my blade. Sometimes if you get like an edge that's not crisp, just roll over it with your bone folder and it'll, okay. So now I'm going to put this there. And I already did it, so I know 4 cards in an hour was going to be a challenge. So what I did was take the smallest die, this one, cut it out, stamped with Versamark, I Miss You, and used the white embossing powder, and I embossed it. Then I cut it out with this small one. So we're just going to put that there, easy peasy. Oh, I didn't glue that down. See, I'm a step ahead of myself. I thought I already had glued that down. Okay. And again, you could use any adhesive you like. I just like glue most of the time. I do have to say, I do love the Stamp and Seal and the Stamp and Seal Plus. There we go. Oh, yeah, just a tad of glue here. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is going to go here. Just wanted to say, I miss you. Now this is going to go on again. A card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Use your bone folder. Glue this down. So basically, when I cut it, what I did was just use the reverse side. So you could get multiple cards and try to create cards that were not so feminine, not so florally, with a floral set. That way you get, you know, today's day and age especially, we want more bang for your buck, and you want to be able to create more. We have to think of our stamp sets not only the way it was created to use it, but a little bit different as well. So, so again, let's get those sequins. Oh, you're welcome, Wendy. Yeah, we're done. Let me just add these sequins. And go check me out on YouTube. I plan on having hopefully some I don't know, maybe that's too many. Okay, I'm changing my mind on that one. And here they also have one that, I don't know if it's Pool Party, but I'm calling it Pool Party. It's like an iridescent. I don't know if it's white Pool Party. But I think it's Pool Party. It matches pretty well to Pool Party. And I like using different sizes as well. So I do some big, and then I'm going to do a small one. Oh, this way. Give it a second. There you go. Alrighty. And again, you know, you could just add a piece of designer series paper to the inside. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and do that once the one from the other card. You could add the designer series paper to the lid of the envelope and to get it all coordinated. Okay, let me push all this out of the way. Okay, so same designer series paper. This is the opposite side, and this is that accordion fold, a slightly more masculine version of this one. Can y'all see it? And like I said, tomorrow morning, I'll have all the pictures posted on my, you're welcome, Kim, on my blog, savvystamp.net. Okay, let me flip you guys around. Say goodbye. Well, thanks again for joining me this evening. I hope you liked it, and have some new goodies coming tomorrow. So hop on over to YouTube, or I might pop on Facebook and do another live with a couple projects. We'll see. Itching to get into some new things. Thank you, PJ. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you guys all have a great week. Stay healthy, stay happy. Happy crafting. Keep us sane in this crazy world. And I'll see you next Thursday, if not sooner. Like I said, don't forget to hop on over to YouTube. Have a blessed evening. Thank you.